The morning bell rang through the marble halls of Silverest Academy, where polished students in designer uniforms carried instruments worth more than most cars. In a shadowed corner, 12-year-old Lena Chen tightened the frayed strap of her backpack, careful not to bump into anyone. The stench of bleach clung to her sleeves, left over from helping her father, the school janitor, clean the science lab before classes. Ah, the maid's daughter graces us with her presence. Lena didn't flinch at the taunt. She'd heard worse in the 3 years since her adoption. She focused instead on the notice board. Annual talent show auditions. All students welcome. And yet, that all never seemed to include her. The setup in Music Room 3 smelled of lemon polish and expensive perfume. Lena hovered at the door as Mrs. Whitmore, Silverest's icy-haired orchestra director, inspected a row of gleaming violins. "Add Lena," she said, lips curling. "Here to observe?" Murmurs rippled through the room. Emily Kensington, whose family owned half the city, giggled behind a $15,000 viola. "I'd like to audition," Lena said, lifting her case. Silence. Then, explosive laughter. "With what, dear? Your father's mop?" Lena unlatched the case. Inside lay a battered violin, its varnish worn to the wood in places. "A toy?" Someone snorted. Mrs. Whitmore sighed. "Very well. Play something. Simple for us." She didn't specify what. A trap. Lena positioned the violin under her chin. The instrument smelled of camphor and old wood, of the mother she'd never met. Then she drew the bow. The first note shattered expectations. Not "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star," not a beginner's scale. Tchaikovsky. The violin concerto in D major erupted, notes cascading like storm rain. Each pitch flawless, the vibrato trembling with raw emotion. Lena's fingers flew, calluses from years of secret practice catching. On the strings. The room froze. Emily's viola slipped from her lap with a thud. Mrs. Whitmore's manicured nails dug into her podium. And at the back door, unnoticed, Mr. Chen dropped his mop. As the final note hung in the air, something clattered to the floor. A faded label peeling from Lena's violin. Antonius Stradivarius, Cremona, 1715. Mrs. Whitmore turned pale. That's impossible. That violin belongs in a museum." Lena cradled the instrument. "It was my birth mother's. Baba kept it safe." A collective gasp. The janitor. The orphan. The heir. Then a slow clap from the doorway. A silver-haired man in a tailored suit stood there, his eyes wet. "Maestro!" Mrs. Whitmore squeaked. The world-famous conductor ignored her, walking straight to Lena. "Who taught you?" Lena glanced at her father's tear-streaked face. "No one. I just listened." The aftermath. By dismissal, the entire school knew. Lena's parents had been virtuosos, killed in a tour bus crash. The janitor, Mr. Chen, was their longtime friend, who'd hidden their daughter in plain sight. That joke audition was already trending as the Stradivarius surprise. As Lena helped her father empty trash cans that afternoon, Mrs. Whitmore scurried past, avoiding their eyes. Lena smiled, tightening her grip on the violin. Tomorrow's rehearsal would be interesting. The morning after Lena's audition, Silverest Academy was in chaos. Students clustered around phones watching her viral performance. Teachers whispered in the halls. But no one was more panicked than Mrs. Whitmore. She cornered Lena outside the music room, her perfume sharp with sweat. "You lied. That Stradivarius was donated to the school years ago." "It was stolen!" A voice cut in. Maestro emerged from the shadows, holding a yellowed file. Behind him stood Mr. Chen, no longer in his janitor's uniform, but a tailored suit. His posture, straight for the first time in years, The unfinished symphony. The truth exploded in the headmaster's office. The theft. 12 years ago. The real Mrs. Whitmore, the current teacher's aunt, had smuggled the Stradivarius out after Lena's parents' fatal crash, forging documents to claim it as school property. The cover-up. When young Janitor Chen recognized the violin, the Whitmores threatened to deport him, and orphan Lena, if he spoke up. The revenge. For years, the music teacher had tormented Lena, unaware the girl was practicing on the very instrument she'd stolen. Maestro slapped a cease and desist on the desk. The Berlin Philharmonic has tracked this violin for a decade. 1 month later, Lena performed Tchaikovsky at Carnegie Hall, on her Stradivarius, now legally returned. The janitor's keychain hung from her neck as a pendant. Mr. Chen became Silverest's new music director, firing Mrs. Whitmore mid-sentence, during her plea for mercy. Emily Kensington, humbled, now carried Lena's sheet music. As for the violin, it stayed in Lena's locker, unlocked. Let them try to steal it now, she told her father with a grin. The lesson? True music isn't made by expensive instruments, but by the hands that earn them.